WSFA 12 Sports. SEC Media Days coverage. Sponsored by Guardian Credit Union, Bryan Jewelry, and the Vance Law Firm.
Good evening from Nashville. We are wrapping up day 2 here at SEC Media Days. It was Auburn Day. Hugh Freeze and the Tigers taking the podium and speaking with us media members.
Yeah, Rosie, it's been a while since Hugh Freeze has been to one of these, right? 2017, back when he was the head coach of Ole Miss. And he said in his opening statement that it's good to be back.
Yeah, and the head coach was peppered with a variety of questions at Media Days, from his roster additions to the NIL to the quarterback battle brewing on the Plains. We talk about that at 6. But going back to the spring, his theme, Jamal, was flipping the script, and Freeze was asked about the first thing he thought he needed to be flipped at Auburn to have a successful program.
The first thing that I think had to be flipped was the mindset, because I really believe as a man thinketh, so he is. And, what do we think about ourselves at Auburn? And they had heard so much. And we'll hear so much about what people's opinion are, or where you should be picked to finish, and all of these things. But man, we first have to rewire the way we think.
Freeze also admitting he's still getting to know his players right now. He says there's a lot of unknowns heading into fall camp, saying it's a strange feeling, but he's optimistic of what's to come and very excited about his kicker, Alex McPherson.
In spring practice, I was like overjoyed, like every time we kicked, like, oh my gosh, I got a kicker. This guy can put points on the board.
Yeah, of course, Hugh Freeze, touching on the fact that he's got those 42 new players, whether that be from the transfer portal or incoming freshmen. And one of those guys, Elijah McAllister, a transfer from Vanderbilt, he's not only on this football team, but he's training to get his PhD in education. So he's going to be a great addition to this Auburn defense.
I'm so excited and blessed to have the opportunity to play in front of the Auburn faithful, and I'm excited to be able to represent them the best way I know how, by making plays, and be able to be in a stadium where the fans are for you, they're excited, and they love their football. So I'm very excited to experience that.
One of those teams that McAllister will see inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium this fall is the Georgia Bulldogs. And Georgia, of course, coming off those back-to-back national championships, Rosie, and they'll have a lot to say about, complacency and how to battle that. Head coach Kirby Smart addressing that today in his press conference in the electronic media room.
We look for two characteristics: people that love football and people that embrace a selfless role. Once you do that, they don't have complacency because they have the right hardwiring. So, people that worry about outcomes, like, oh gosh, my ego, why am I not getting the ball? Or like, oh man, we lost the game. Complacency sets in on those people because when they hit a milestone, they don't know how to respond to it. So we want people that are intrinsically motivated. And
Jamal, each year you look forward to a coach here at SEC Media Days. The late Mike Leach was one of those coaches. Zach Arnett, now the head coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He had a lot of great things to say about the late Mike Leach and his program. A lot of seniors, though, returning for this Bulldogs team, and their quarterback, Will Rogers, also a senior. The Bulldogs trying to improve from a 9-4 record from last season.
We have a core group of returning upperclassmen and senior and junior class who've played a lot of football, and they know what it takes to compete and win. Mississippi State has forever changed my life and that of my family. Right, for that, I'm forever indebted to it, to Mike Leach, right, to all of Starkville.
Let's not forget about Vanderbilt, Rosie, Clark Lee, and the Commodore speaking as well today, coming off that 5-7 record, just one game away from having a bowl bid last season.
All right, tomorrow, the Alabama Crimson Tide, bright and early. Nick Saban and his players speaking with us. We'll bring you that coverage. But that wraps up day 2 here in Nashville at SEC Media Days. For Jamal Kennedy, I'm Rosie Langelo for WSFA 12 Sports, Nashville.